So, the particle journey begins. As the particles leave for their journey, what they are trying to accomplish is to know what happened after few seconds of Big Bang. The time at which all the particles got created. Now the particles leave for the journey to know their own pain, to know their evolution, to know how they evolved into the present form, and what was there at the time of beginning of cosmos. So what particles are trying to accomplish is to know their own journey. What were the types of particles present at the time of beginning of cosmos after few seconds of Big Bang, and how the forms and processes evolved as they are. The particles tell us that we are everywhere. Your world, you yourself, our clothing, our food, the things we use, or the cosmos in which we live is all made up of light particles. What is the design of our makeup? How do particles bring all our cosmos about? What is the design of the processes involved? So, particles are on the journey to know themselves. The journey begins to know what happened after few seconds of Big Bang, and how the particles came into being, and how they evolve in the cosmos. So particles are on their own journey to know themselves, to know what's their makeup, how they came into being, how they evolved. So we're going to the early beginning of the cosmos, just few seconds before Big Bang, to know how the energy operates, or how the world processes come about. But how do particles reach at the energy in which they reach to the time, they simulate the time of only few seconds before the Big Bang. Before reaching to that spot, the particles start from they leave as bunches, different bunches from the bottle. As they leave in different bunches from the bottle, they are passed through different foils of different materials. If we need the ions, or if we need the protons only, to strip off the electrons surrounding them, so that we get the proton beams or ion beams. After leaving through the foil, they move straight, they are accelerated in straight fashion through the linear accelerators or linacs. There are many linacs in the city, like Linac 1 is there, Linac 2 is there, Linac increase there and fed into different types of circular accelerators, which are called synchrotrons or boosters. First they are fed into the booster, then the proton synchrotron. The first proton synchrotron, which gives energy to the particles, accelerates the particles to certain energy, accelerates the bunches of protons to certain energy level. Then they are fed into the super proton synchrotron in the circles, SPS, where again the acceleration takes place. Then they are fed into Large Hadron Collider, LHC, the biggest ring of particle city, as they journey around, where they circulate for some time to gain the energy. As we know, some thousands of rounds, some 11,000 rounds, they circulate nearly at the speed of light, being accelerated. And different setups help them in accelerating and gaining the energy to simulate the event. There are radio frequencies to compensate for the energy lost while the particles circulate in the synchrotron or LHC. There are quadrupoles to focus them. There are dipole magnets to accelerate them. There are cooling systems, etc. So for acceleration, there are 4 systems at play. There are linear accelerators, which accelerate the particles in linear fashion or in straight line. There are circular systems, which accelerate the particles in circular fashion. 3 of them: the proton synchrotron, superproton synchrotron, and Large Hadron Collider. Then there are some sound detection systems. The sound detection setups in the journey of the particle. They can complete their journey in any of these sound setups. There is a Large Ion Collider experiment, ALICE. There is a toroidal LHC apparatus, ATLAS. There is compact muon solenoid, CMS. There is Large Hadron Collider Beauty, LHCb. There is Large Hadron Collider Forward, LHCf. As you can see, they are at different places in the particle city to help them in their journey to reach the final purpose of their travel or journey. There are extra low energy antiproton rings, ELENA. So there are also some minor setups for different experiments. This is all the journey. This whole setup is set up to give the particles, to take the particles to a particular level of energy so that they can be fed into the detection system and they can simulate the event of their formation of first few seconds before the Big Bang. So, to know themselves, particles need to generate the energy required, the amount of energy required, the higher energy required to know themselves, to know the beginning of the cosmos. For that, the particles collaborate. They move in straight lines in their city. They go in rounds and move in circles in the city to generate their energy needed to know the beginning of the cosmos and to know their own evolution. So particles start, whether ions or protons or atoms, they start in two opposite directions, moving first linearly, then circular in circles in the bunches. There are 2800 approximate bunches per beam, per proton beam, which move in line or in circles in their city. And every bunch of protons or ions has got 1010 protons or ions in each bunch. Now, as they traverse the city to generate the energy required to know their beginning, to know their evolution, to know their energy, to know the beginning of their makeup, in their journey, they are helped to gain energy. They are helped by different setups. Whether they are moving in linear fashion or they are circling around in their city. To keep them in linearity or in circles, there are different setups in the city which help them to gain the energy. There are quadrupoles, dipoles, sextupoles, different types of magnets. Some magnets accelerate them, some setups accelerate them, some setups like quadrupoles keep them focused in the space in which they have to move. The quadrupoles magnets in their city help them to remain in line 75 meters apart. Each bunch is 7.5 meters apart. As they circulate the city or as they move in the linear fashion in the city or in circles in the city, the total dimension of each bunch is 1 meter into few centimeters. At near speed of light, each bunch in the circle makes 11,245 circuits every second, nearly at the speed of light, gaining the energy required to generate that atmosphere in which they can know themselves, in which they can know the time of their beginning. So, every bunch circulates 11,245 circuits every second. After gaining the energy required, the total energy required, the bunches start colliding. They reach at the part of their city where the energy is required. That's where they collide. As the bunches collide, with all the energy they have acquired till now, a variety of particles comes with time. All the energy is deposited in some femtometer scale or millimeter scale. When they reach the detector or the part of their city where the energy is to make it possible for them to know the beginning of their pain. As they reach the detector, there are the quadrupoles, the toroids, toroidal magnets, etc. The setup there focuses them into each bunch of particles is focused into 20 micrometer scale. It is not the 1 meter into few centimeters. It is only some micrometers, that is 20 micrometer scale. And with full acceleration and focus, the collision becomes possible. The particles collide and bang! Every type of particle gets generated. The lot of particles get generated. They fly helter-skelter in every direction. But every particle has got its own energy. So, that brings them to their early beginning. Now, they come to a stage where they know what was the early beginning of the cosmos, where from they came, and what is their exact energy. But the problem for us is to know, to detect the type of particles. They are so subtle and they move so fast, their energy is so much that we need special setups in the city of the particles to know the particle.